Hello, so today I'll be showing you how to optimize your classroom for an online learning environment. So first up, I always recommend the Google ecosystem because it allows you to edit and share very easily. So the idea here is, for example, you can have your lectures. Most professors and instructors have their lecture in a PowerPoint format. So if you do that, I would recommend Google Slides because you're able to edit on the fly and it allows you to cloud save across all your devices without having to have OneDrive hooked up correctly to your Microsoft account. So for example, I have this lecture and here's the title and we can move on to the lesson and you can edit content pretty easily, and once you edit it on one device, it edits on all your devices. So for example, you can just log into a school computer and have it pulled up without having to try to load OneDrive if you don't have that set up. The main reason I recommend it is you can share it with this button right here. So it asks for a name, you can click save. Now the most important thing is you can change what kind of status that the person gets whenever you share the link. So anyone with this link can view it. And this is really helpful because once you make a change, so let's say I finished clicking share and I sent it to somebody, once you add more slides, for example, so like lesson 2, since they've already got the link, you don't have to send it to them again. They can just see your change. So this is really helpful when you want to keep adding to the notes they have, because this might be a great way for them to study, because you can introduce your slides one by one, like this for example. With the share button, it's very powerful because once they have the copy or the link, they get the copy of this entire PowerPoint even after you edit it. It edits for their side as well. So it's very helpful to see any sort of new lessons or to double check their notes. So that brings us to another key component of online learning is in-class participation. So now since we're all in an online space, I recommend doing a few things. So first, I have a document. So we can make a document with group 1, question 1, and we can give them space to write there. And then we can do the same thing. Let's say we have 3 groups. Oops, don't mind the typos. So you can obviously give them more space. But the idea here is, so you make your questions and give them space to answer. Hopefully you have 3 groups. And the best thing you could do is click the share again, change it down here to edit, and then copy the link and share it like you did the last time with the slides. So the key here is you can do this during your class time. You can send the link in the chat box of whatever streaming or meeting site you're using, like Canvas conferences, Zoom, whatever. You can share this link, students can click on it, and because you changed the status to editor, again like this, I'll change it to editor, copy it, and paste it into the chat box. Your students can click on it and type in their answers and see what the other groups are typing as well. So when you're using the breakout rooms feature, you can see each breakout room is typing without having to have them write down something or email it to you, or you have to screen share and avoid all the problems that come with that. And then this allows you to see immediate feedback and immediate group participation. And another way you can do this is with sheets. So this was Google Slides, this is Google Documents, this is Google Sheets. Now Google Sheets is really good for if you're doing data entry. For example, in a physics class, you can have 3 groups, again, and a question, but each group can type in their data that they got. And then you can write space for conclusions, for example, and have each group write their own. But the possibilities are endless with the Google Sheets for like a science or math class. You're able to see data and calculations because this can do math, of course. So it's really helpful for students to have their math checked, as well as you can see every type of data they're getting, like for a physics lab you're doing, or you're doing a group calculation, word problems, what have you. So these three applications are really good for getting your class optimized for an online learning environment.